and she's the biggest show in town. Brilliant, dominant, and unforgettable were the words used to describe her only previous appearance at Royal Randwick.
They're off and racing. Black Caviar jumped a touch awkwardly.
2 years ago in the TJ Smith Stakes, over 30,000 fans held their breath when an upset appeared possible.
Running for home, and Haylis the leader. He's about 2 or 3 lengths in front of Crystal Lily. Black Caviar.
But then Black Caviar accelerated.
Here she comes, Black Caviar.
The crowd roared and she powered home.
The best in the world races away.
That was win number 12. Since then, she has lit up tracks all over the country.
This is brutal power, wrapped in an elegant machine.
Smashed records.
17 straight, the invincible one.
And won at Royal Ascot.
Black Caviar, she's got there.
And this afternoon, she will set out to monopolise the TJ Smith Stakes once again and take her unbeaten streak to 25.
And the wonder from down under wins again.
At every appearance, she rewrites the history books. Today, she will overtake the mighty Kingston Town's record of 14 majors, a title unmatched for 30 years. And she will fly past Burnborough's feat of 7 consecutive Group 1 victories, a mark that has stood since 1946. In her company, no reputation is safe.
He's a great horse. In fact, he's the best horse Australia's ever seen, and I doubt if ever they'll see his equal.
Farlap, arguably the greatest of them all, won 37 races, but by today's standards is credited with only 10 Group 1 wins. Black Caviar is the closest racing has to a sure thing. But this is the goodbye tour, and each run dictates where the story goes from here. Whether it's to Brisbane, once more to Royal Ascot, or off to the breeding barn. Or like the original Dame Nellie, will she come back again? It's what makes this occasion so tantalising. A legend of all time in what could be her farewell to Sydney. Behold the horse that has made invincibility lasting. And brace yourself for a spectacular day at Royal Randwick with the Australian Derby, the Sire's Produce, and a blockbuster lineup of racing superstars.
Welcome to Royal Randwick. It's Derby Day.
Well, Sydney likes a big show, doesn't it? Well, they've got the big girl here today. We can tell you that. What a brilliant opener from Neil there as the Black Caviar story continues to roll on. Another chapter today. I don't think she's a certainty today, but that's for later on in the day. It's Royal Randwick. It's the opening of this great race course. 1860 they first officially ran here. You've got to go back a long, long way. And it's David Jones Australian Derby Day. And I can tell you, it's the most beautiful day out there, 25, 26 degrees, and the bluest.
Trial it was from that filly in the third race. Chris Wally, you must be delighted with the way she found the line with the big weight.
Yeah, it was very good. It was a big concern having 59 kilos. I think she had, well, at least 5 kilos more than most of the field and 2 kilos more than the next one. So that's a big thing when you're talking horses, carrying a jockey aboard. That's what a handicapper's job is, to make sure they all go across the line together. Unfortunately, we beat the handicapper to some degree.
I said it was a good age trial. Do you press on now?
We weren't going to originally, but when you're winning like that, and with horses, you don't know really what's around the corner. So a week's not as long to wait as the spring. The plan was to wait until the spring, but I'll speak to Jerry Harvey and his team and see what they've got to say.
And just briefly, it looks as though the mile and a half won't worry her the way she went today.
Yeah, it was. She ran it out very strong, and especially carrying that extra weight. She didn't have any favours, so it was good to see her get through that.
Congratulations, Chris. Well done.
Thanks very much.
So, Chris Waller, they're going on. So the Adrian Knox, the dividends, Royal Descent 450. Adrian Knox, by the way, the chairman of the club 100 years ago, basically, and they redeveloped Randwick. He went on to be Chief Justice of Australia. Empress Power 560, Unimpeachable 180. And the first four was $3,040, the final dividends in the Adrian Knox Stakes. So the redevelopment of Royal Randwick, we've talked a lot about this. I mean, it was planned or designed in 2010, January. The funding came in March 2011. The construction began in January 2012. There are 6 levels of the grandstand, this incredible parade ring called the Theatre of the Horse, an owner's pavilion, a ballroom with 1,000 people. It's the largest screen out the front in the Southern Hemisphere to re-see the races. 5-star hotel fittings all the way around. The stand now will be able to seat 14,850 compared with 6,700. It's 110 metres long, the stand, and the Theatre of the Horse, 4,500 people looking on. Darren Pearce is the CEO here, and he's with Neil Kearney. Neil.
We're standing in the owner-trainers area above what is grandly called the Theatre of the Horse. It really is like a coliseum. It brings to mind that baseball movie, Field of Dreams, where the voice said to Kevin Costner, "Build it and they will come." Darren Pearce, you've built it and they have come.
It is, it's outstanding. We've got a great new facility for Sydney, a great new facility for racing, and let's hope the fans love it.
Is it all about providing a facility for the 21st century? I mean, needs have changed.
It is. It's about Wi-Fi. It's about dressing it up so it's like going to a 5-star restaurant. We need to differentiate ourselves from the pubs and clubs and the lounge rooms to get people back to the track. That's what we've done, and we're confident they'll be back.
The old days of racing, men in overcoats, looking out from old grandstands, I guess those days are gone?
No, they're not gone. There's still something for the traditional race goer, but we've also had to embrace a whole new audience. We think we've done that. Let's hope they love it, and let's hope they come back more and more times.
Well, you've just had the official opening of the Theatre of the Horse. You've got the biggest celebrity in racing here today.
Black Caviar, she's just an Australian heroine. What other racehorse is going to get on the cover of Vogue or be named Sportswoman of the Year? She's going for the all-time Australian Group 1 record as she breaks that, arguably the greatest horse to have ever raced in Australia. And to have that moment at the new Randwick, we're over the moon.
Thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Neil.
We're in the brand spanking new betting ring. It's still got that new car smell, or maybe it's the whiff of a win in the air. You can't help but think, even though this $150 million redevelopment has been on the cards for 3 years, that it's all come together quite conveniently for just one horse and one perfect day of racing. You can place your bets here. You can watch all the action unfold on these giant super screens, the biggest in the Southern Hemisphere, we're told. And of course, you can collect your winnings. No prizes for guessing where most of the money is. Who are you betting on?
Who do you reckon?
How much money do you stand to win?
About $2.50.
So the answer is not very much, but at least you can keep the ticket for your grandkids.
Edwina Bartholomew. Of course, this is sort of a partial, it's the big opening, but when it's all complete will be in September for the October 4 Group 1 meetings.
Now, I've just got to pull my man up here from Sydney, who's just stated before in the opener, if you were watching there, folks, that this will be the best facility and racecourse in Australia. Did you forget about Flemington, Richard, where you won 4 Melbourne Cups?
5.
Five.
Look, Flemington's a fantastic facility, a bigger facility than this, but I think this will be the P. It's in the harbour city, the international city, and the track with the Richard Friedman hedge going all right way along the inside rail. I think it's the track.
Where are you living? How long were you living?
I live around the corner.
Yeah.
Right. No, I love this discussion. What it means is we've got 2 world-class facilities, Flemington and Royal Randwick, and why not? I mean, the 2 great cities and the 2 great racecourses.
What's the capacity here for patron?
It'll be about 23. I think 23 today, and every ticket sold, and I think it'll be 40. It's 25 actually today.
Right.
Extra couple of thousand for Black Caviar, but there'll be 40,000, I believe, from that point on.
Flemington about 120 on any given day.
That's true, but look,
it's the quantity versus quality argument.
The best of both worlds, guys.
Indeed.
Continue to agree to disagree. I'm sure you will. Plenty more to come on this remarkable day at Royal Randwick.
Castles in the sky.
Gay Waterhouse is a danger, Julianus, but me, I'm going all out.
So here's the scenes from Flemington today. By the way, Randwick, Royal Randwick, upgrade the track from Dead 5 to Dead 4 just has come through. We've had a couple of races at Flemington today. The first race went to Flamberge, trained by Peter Moody for Vlad Jurek, the jockey, and the second went to Coins, trained by Peter Snowden, Vlad Jurek, the jockey. And in Sydney, that first race on the program went to Safeguard, Peter Snowden, Karen McAvoy, and the second race, Toy Dini, very impressive for Guy Walter and Blake Shin. Back to TomWaterhouse.com. Tom, what have you got for us in the Vobis Gold Ingot?
Look, all the money's come for this number 8, Washington Square. It's got the form around that Peter Moody horse, El Cavallo, that got beaten at even money in the first at Randwick. For this reason and the fact that it's going to get back with a slow tempo, I'm taking it on at the 380, but the punters keep coming for it. I thought the value in the race was number 2, Churchill Dancer. I think it'll sit very well in the race and might just skip away from the favourite.
So the value Churchill Dancer, the favourite Washington Square. The Ellis and Zara combination got a couple here, haven't they? They've got Hard Stride and also Washington Square. It's a valuable race. It's a $180,000 race, the Vobis Gold Ingot for the 2-year-olds up the straight here at Flemington.
Yep, outstanding if you've got a winner, a runner in this 2-year-old race with the bonus. Just getting back to Il Cavallo, who raced here earlier.
Oh, sorry, someone have a look at this brilliant shot. I mean, Sydney really has done, I think, a superb job. The race club, the racing industry, and the city itself. Is there that's CNN stuff, isn't it? I mean, look at that. Isn't that
Look at that
amazing?
city, and to have that flag flying over it on a day like today when she's here in Sydney, perhaps for the last time. I think that's outstanding. Look at that shot, Simon. You can't beat that.
I mean, it's quite surreal.
That's gorgeous.
So we try so hard in the racing fraternity, you know, when we get champions and we talk about them to get on the front page. AFL and rugby dominating cricket when it's on. It dominates the Ashes and so forth. But this mare has completely flipped all of that on its head, and to have that in the harbour and that big flag there for her day here at Royal Randwick, going for her 25th, is just phenomenal.
Wow, wonderful scenes.
Yes. And we wonder what the legacy will be after she goes to stud, but that's for the future to tell.
Well, the blood, I mean, Simon's got a lot of the blood with Bill Couture and now the Redouts. And we've got All Too Hard, of course, who will be running in a trial next week here in Sydney, and then running, we believe, in the All-Age Stakes on the final day of the Carnival, which we'll be covering, of course, Sydney Cup Day.
Looking forward to it. Now, that's Tony Boy. Now, he's a horse from the Hawks Yard, and he's only had the one run in a country meeting, but he's a very promising horse, so keep your eye on him. And the other one I want you to keep your eye on is that horse there in the maroon shakes colours, number 3, Dempezzo. Now, it's out of a mare called Seeker, who was a really good mare, Seeker, and Dempezzo's having his first start here today, so keep an eye on him.
And just getting back to those who are backing Washington Square, where Tom mentioned that, TomWoolhouse.com mentioned that this is where the money was coming. Il Cavallo got on his wrong leg here. He missed the kick a little bit, he fired up, got on his wrong leg, and didn't really handle the conditions here in Sydney on his second up run. So don't worry about that too much. This horse will improve Washington Square.
Tom, you were spot on with Royal Descent. Not sure that you want to be spot on with these market movers. Who have you got for us here?
340 and one.
Square, but the late big money has come for Hard Stride, 440 into 360, and it's just constant for it now.
Okay, so Hard Stride, who's by Street Sense, who's a son of Street Cry, who's the sire of, you know, Shocking and Who Begot You and those types of great... And, of course, the mighty mare who won her first 19 races in America, Zenyatta, and lost the last race by a head to a